Whenever I game, I stream. All right, so we're going to be continuing our learning playthrough here of Unconscious Mind. I forgot to do one thing during the last session, but they've already corrected it. So I put this here actually as a reminder. So I forgot to trigger that effect twice for the id. So instead of getting only 3 coffee, you actually got 6. I already adjusted it. You can see if you look at the previous video, this actually landed here where the grief layer was removed. So I moved that to one more spot actually because he would have gotten another heart-shaped box. So so everything's already corrected, but I just forgot that because the id placed 2 ideas there. That means that the effect was triggered twice, but I only gave him 3 coffee. So, but that's already taken care of. Okay, so now we're back to my turn, and you know what I noticed actually, like my what do they call our own tableau here? Like our table. I need to get more stuff. So I need to get, what do they call those? I need to get more, let me see what it's called. The thing with the banner on them. There's so many terminologies. Notebook tiles. So we need to get more notebook tiles so that the more notebook tiles that we have, you know, we can more effects that we can get more effects actually triggered whenever we stop by these ink pot slots. So so I think for this turn, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me just look. Yeah, because right now we don't even have anything here. And I can't add to, like, if I only have one idea here, I don't think I can add to an idea, right? I have to find like a different spot to get to the same thing. But the problem here is like this, when you're playing solo, the left and right column here are blocked, so you can't access these. Well, unless you're from up here and then down here pointing that way. But I think that when you select or when you try to get an idea or place an idea on the meeting table, I don't think you can place one on top of your previous idea. And let's just make sure of that. You may place 1 or 2 ideas from your idea supply onto a single vacant idea space. So it has to be vacant. You can be pointing towards the same thing, but it has to be vacant. So so maybe this turn, let's see if we can get the our player. What is this called? Our tableau here. It is called player boards. Okay, so let's see if we can add stuff to our player board so that we can do more whenever we land on those ink spot. Whenever we finish a lap with the around the ink spot sections, stops. So there are 3 of them actually here where you can get the what are they called again? Tile player or something tile. We were just talking about it. Notebook tiles. Okay, the difference, but you have to spend coffee, it looks like, to get these notebook files. So like it looks like I only have one. I only have 1 coffee. So I can so this is the only one. So let's do that. So this turn, I'm going to go ahead and state ideas. So we're going to state ideas. You can trigger that twice, but I only have one coffee, so I guess it's only smart to just use one. So because we can only trigger it once, so I'm gonna use one coffee to get to get a notebook tile, and let me see how we accomplish that. So gaining notebook tile. Use tiles. Use one coffee to gain either notebook top tile in the leftmost column. Or use one coffee to gain either notebook tile in the leftmost column. Okay, so you can grab any one of these. Okay. I think you trigger the effect and then you flip them. Is that how it works? Let me see. Okay. Okay, let's read the rules here regarding the gaining the notebook tiles. Replacing notebook tiles. If you're not able to place a notebook tile in any vacant space, okay, that doesn't really apply to us, but I'll just read it real quick. You have not cured the required number of clients, so there are no more vacant spaces left. Now, oh, because like this final section, you can only get the final column here if you're able to get what? What is that? 0, 1, or 2? What does that mean even? The place number. Okay, if you've chosen a vacant space showing, you must have cured the appropriate number of clients. First icon you cover. Oh, okay. So you can claim 1, and then it increases in value. So and then after that you have to you have to have a certain number of clients cured before you can claim the remainder of those sections. Okay, you may replace any tile in your player board with a new one, otherwise discard the new tile. You may not relocate notebook tiles. If you choose a space without a notebook tile because there are no tiles left to fill it, score victory points shown inside the vacant space instead, and skip remaining steps. What? If you choose a space without a notebook tile because there are no tiles left. If you choose a notebook tile but then there are no tiles to select, then you gain. It must be at the bottom of those tiles there at the top. Okay, that's cool. Whenever you gain a notebook tile, follow these steps. Use the amount of coffee required, so already did that. You only need to use coffee when gaining notebook tiles from the meeting table's action spaces, not when you gain tiles by other means. Trigger any effect to the notebook tile as indicated inside the action space. How do you select this? Use coffee to gain either notebook top tile in the leftmost column. The top tile from level 1 to level 2 stack. But they are not flipped though. They're talking about these or they're talking about these? It did say stack. Okay, so what do we do with that section? Because I know there are two faces. Like right now, there's like some icons on top of that. Do we get to trigger that effect? Or trigger any effect of the notebook tile as indicated inside the action space. Place the notebook tile banner side down into the leftmost vacant space of any row in your player board. If the this is a little confusing. Because why then? Center tile, okay, trigger any effect notebook as indicated inside the action space. It's like as if it's talking about the banner side instead of the whatever the other side is called. So yeah, this is a little confusing. Let's see if I can understand this. Use the amount of coffee required to take the tile. Okay. Did I have that placed there properly? I think I did. Yeah, because when you set that up, place level 1 stack onto the meeting table's upper left tile space, flip the topmost, and place it in the rightmost space. Yeah, and then you flip them. And then the same thing with the second stack. So they mentioned stack here, so they're talking about the stack. I'm just not understanding how we get to resolving the banner effect when we're grabbing from these two stacks, because you have to flip them to get to the banner side. Like, so I don't know why, how that works. Let's read this slowly. Whenever you gain a notebook tile, follow these steps. Use the amount of coffee required and take the tile. Okay, so let's just select one. I like this one because you can spend 1 coffee to get 2 things. So I like this one. So let's say I selected this one, okay? Because with this tile, once you have it placed down, when you trigger the effect, you can use 1 coffee and you actually get 2 insights. You can move 2 insights from the general insight into these sections here. So I do like that. So that's the one I'm going to select. So now we just I'm trying to understand what we do with this. Okay. Let's see. Trigger any effect of the notebook tile as indicated inside the action space. I think inside the action space. What does that mean? Oh, like here. I think it's what it's saying. But if we're selecting from the stack, though, I mean, that's what I'm not understanding, because these are talking about the banner side. Things that have a banner side. Oh, I see. So, okay, I got it now. They're not explaining this properly, because they're saying, oh, okay, because this is confusing. What they need to do is just say that depending on the amount of coffee they, okay, it's just the way that this rulebook is written. If you spend here, this is what you get. If you spend here, this is what you get. And if you spend here, that's what the arrows are for. You know, I mean, there got to be a better way to write it so that we can just understand that easier. But then if you select those, do you flip them when they come to our player board? Probably. Yeah, because place it with the banner side down. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, it makes sense now. Okay, so since we only use 1 coffee, we get we don't get the benefit of triggering banner effect or the left side effect of the banner, because we didn't have enough coffee to get the fancier stuff. So we only get this one, and we don't get any of the effect before placing the notebook down. Place the notebook tile banner side down into the leftmost vacant space of any row on your player board. If the chosen vacant space shows that, yada yada, if there's a vacant space in the notebook, display it, refill it. If a vacant space is in the center column, fill it with the topmost tile. If a vacant space is in the center column, fill it with the topmost tile from that row's supply. Flipped banner side up. Oh, they're talking about replacing those. Okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to understand where I place this. So I can select anyone. I can place it here or here because it says place the notebook tile banner side down into the leftmost vacant space of any row on your player board. Okay, so I can select whichever one I want. So we're gonna say, but it has to be the leftmost. So it has to be between these two rows. Or it could be this one too, right? Because it says leftmost vacant space of any row. They're just saying that so that you don't like do something like this, like place this in the middle. So I can choose a row and I can place where I want it to be. Now, since we don't have any notebooks in any of these other rows, I think it's probably a good idea to place them either here or here. Because if we place it here, we have to land here. And every time we land like in front of those rows without any notebook, then we can't do anything. So I think I'm just going to place it up here. Okay. All right, that's cool. So now what? Oh, now I move the ink pot. That's right. Okay. So since I placed that there, I move just one spot on the ink pot. Oh, cool. So I move it down here, but the problem is I don't have any more coffee, so I can't even get the insides. So, but that's okay. Now we get to do that once, filling our player board with a notebook tile. Okay, and then that's it, right? Yeah. Do the ink pot thing, and then that's it. Oh, but I do get. You have to remember, I do get a minor insight there. I get a minor growth, another minor growth. Now, to take care of this patient's, to get the 2 therapy points from that manifest dream, I have to have one. Oh shit! I have to have a major freedom insight plus one of these minor growth insight. Okay, so this is my goal, is to get this, to be able to take care of this patient. Let me look at this other one though. This other one, I need to get a major growth plus a minor passion to get this one, to take care of my second patient. Okay, cool. So we're back to the id. It's moving faster now. Back to the id here. The id gets to place ideas if he has enough. Yeah, he does have enough. So we have to draw the idea thing. And I guess if once we get to the bottom, we shuffle. If because I don't remember them telling you to reshuffle, but that's the only way. Unless they expect the game to be over before we get through all of these. Meeting table card. They didn't say anything about reshuffling this meeting table card, because I would have remembered them talking about reshuffling it if it's gone. So they must expect the game to end before that happens. Okay, so this is the meeting table card that I got for id. So id is going to go up this way. Oh, that row is empty, so he is able to place something there. He does have bright idea. I think he uses ideas first before bright idea, though. Yeah, if it has fewer than 2 ideas, it places a bright idea for each missing idea. So he uses idea first for the bright ideas. Okay, so he's going to move from the bottom up, and the target panel is this one at the bottom. So this is what he's trying to get. And remember that this triggers twice because he's using 2 ideas. So it's gonna go like this. Okay. So he's supposed to gain 2 journals, or whatever this is called. I think they're called journals. Research card. So he's supposed to get a research card twice, but since he doesn't get research cards, every time he's supposed to pick up one, he actually gets what? Let me see. Let me see here. I know there's a section that talks about all of these things, so that we don't make a mistake. This is the first time that we're doing it. Come on now, I know there's a section. Okay, here we go. That's publishing a treatise. Okay. Nope, that's notebook tile. What about journal? Okay, failing to play a research card. That's something different. What about getting a journal, though? Because that's what that is, right? No, he does get to draw a journal. Okay, that's interesting. He gets to draw journals? Yeah, he does. That's interesting. When it gains a research card, it keeps in a face down hand. When it plays a research card, it takes the topmost card from its hand and places it face up in its play area. Let me read this again. When the id gains a research card, it keeps it in a face down hand. Oh, like this. Okay. And when it plays a research card, it takes the topmost card from its hand and places it up in its play area, forming a row of in-play effect cards. Then it triggers any immediate effects shown at the bottom of the card. Okay, so he does get to pick one, and we have 2 here. He's selecting the one on the right. So he gets this one, and then he's gonna place it down here. When he plays it, we're gonna put it over here. Okay. I'm gonna replace that. Okay. Okay, I hear the Twitch chat, but it's not showing for some reason. Maybe I need to refresh my... No, it's not showing. I guess maybe it's a spam chat. Let's see. Block chat. Let me see here. There's nothing there, so I guess it's a bug. Because I would have been able to see it here, right, under moderation. But nothing. Okay. So I don't know what that was. Anyway. Okay. So he gets that research card. And then he gets to move. He gets to do that twice. Remember, because, yeah, he gets to do that twice. So the next one he chooses is going to be the one on the left. So he gets that one too. And just move back to the right. And then he gets to move 4 ink spots. Ink pot spots. So it's 1, 2. He gets this one. 3, and 4. He gains an insight, which means he gets coffee. And then he gets to activate one of these panels, I believe. Yes, I believe so. Let me just double check. The id determines its inkpot movement value by counting the number of inkpots shown. Exactly as many spaces of movement, then the id triggers the effects where the inkpot ended its movement. The id has 2 ideas available, so it reveals a meeting card table. Okay, whatever. The id triggers 1 unlock column on its player board. Well, that's the top spot. That's your lowest spot. First, the id gains 1 coffee instead of generating minor insight. We already took care of that. Then from left to right, the id triggers effects of each active notebook tile and unlock insight space in the row. Then the id flips its leftmost inactive notebook tile in that row to its active side. When the id flips its third tile in the row, immediately unlocks the player insight. Okay, so nothing is unlocked here, so he's going to unlock this one. Okay, cool. And then after that, he doesn't have any heart-shaped boxes, so he's not able to treat his patients this turn. Let me just check here. So yeah, because after that, use the heart-shaped box, and he's not able to do so. Draft new clients. And he has 2 clients there right now. Okay, so now it's back to us. Okay, so I need to get insights now. If I recall my ideas, though, I can get coffee. So maybe this turn I should recall idea. Let me see here. How do we do that? Because this is the first time that we've done it as a player. So let me check. If you have at least 1 idea on the meeting table, you may spend your turn recalling your ideas. Then you may claim a location, a district bonus from the city map. Oh, okay, that's cool. To recall your ideas, follow these steps. Count the different idea spaces on the meeting table where you have at least 1 idea. Then gain coffee equal to the number you counted. Return all your ideas from the meeting table to the idea supply. So we start with that. I have 3 ideas. Spaces with ideas, so that means I get 3 coffee. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then well, I have 1 heart-shaped box. I guess I could have used that. The heart-shaped box you can always use at any time, right? But it's probably best not to use it until you have taken care of the latent dream, unless you plan it from the beginning, I guess, because this is 2 plus 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I need 2 latent dreams, 2 heart-shaped boxes actually to cure this patient. With this patient, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I also need 2 heart-shaped boxes to cure this patient. So we're not going to touch that. Okay. Next, you may claim a district or location bonus on the city map. Choose the location with your professor of Freud and perform the following options. Okay, so my professor is over here, Freud is over here. Choose a location with your professor of Freud. Place the topmost district token from this location's district onto any vacant bonus slot at the location and trigger the slot's effect. The other one requires a player color insight, which I don't have. Okay, which is the district bonus. So where is the location bonus? Let me see here. Location bonus is the one on the right. Okay, cool. So we can choose between this and this. Looks like both is the same. But if I use, and both of them actually will result in a reputation gain. So, so it doesn't really matter. Um, but I guess the smart thing to do here is use Freud, because I know that if during its turn it's able, it's going to be able to select between Freud's and its own location bonus. So reputation is important. So I think I should claim the one on Freud's location. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That way he's not gonna be able to get this one too. So I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, choose the location with your professor. Place the topmost district token. Okay. During setup, the topmost district token on each stack shows a reputation point. If you use one of these tokens to claim a bonus, gain a reputation point after resolving the slot's effect. See reputation gain. Okay. So, and what is this effect here? Let me check the reference card. Trigger all the effects of an unlocked column on your player board. Okay, cool. Which is that one. Very nice. Okay, so I'm gonna select that one, and then let's do one thing at a time. So we're gonna go ahead and trigger the effect on my unlock column here, so I can actually spend one coffee to get. Yeah, I'll do that. Spend one coffee and I get one median growth, and then one more. What do they call this? Small one. Median, minor, right, minor. Median, minor, and major, right? Yes, okay. And then I also get this one, so I can use, so I don't have it. So if I have one of these, if I have a minor freedom, I would have been able to transform that into a median anything. So, but I don't have that. Okay, cool. And then I also get reputation. So let me see here, gain a reputation. Whenever you gain a reputation point, follow these steps. Advance Freud's reputation marker 1 space. Okay, so Freud gets to move 1. Advance your reputation 1 space. Okay. So now I'm on top of the id here. We're both on number 1. Each time your or Freud's marker crosses an icon, a Freud icon, advance Freud on the city map once without triggering any location effects. So that would be only Freud, so he gets to move 1 more spot. Okay. Alright, that's it from gaining reputation, and that is it, I think, for my turn. Let me make sure. Okay, to publish a treatise, you have to trigger that one. Okay, that's so cool. All right. I'm just making sure that I didn't miss anything. Since you're not freely exchange inside pieces, it's often to leave your player color insights. So it's the player color insights that they recommend that you keep in the middle area here. The rest of these, like regular insights, just spend them as often as you like, because you have to use the player color insights to gain permanent bonuses on the map. Alright, so now I'm back to id. And again, id does have 3 ideas. So he's going to go ahead and claim another one here. So we're going to draw his meeting table card. And this one says I need to use the second column going downwards. And what he's after looks like is, that's an interesting, why is the arrow pointing that way? Oh, he wants this one, really. I mean, I think that's just a printing error. You see where how it says the arrow is pointing downwards? You can't have the arrow pointing downwards because you have to trigger the effect. So that arrow should have been pointing upwards. But that's just showing the orientation is just trying to get this middle tiles here. So since he already has those ideas there, so it's going to move up. And he's going to use one idea and one bright idea. So he has to trigger that twice. And it looks like it says 2 coffee equals something. Now, how does he resolve that where it wants him to spend coffee? I don't think he would be spending coffee that way because id actually works differently. To gain, it looks like that is to gain a, yeah, that's gaining coffee to gain one of those tiles. He already has tiles, so how does this work for him then when he lands there? I think, let me look at the reference for id. Yeah, what happens when we land on that tile? What does he do? Okay, it gains 2 coffees instead of generating a medium insight or triggering a standard notebook tile. So he actually gains 2 coffee. But the part that I'm not getting though, because it says you have to spend 2 coffee there, so how does that work for him? So for him, he just because if I land there, if I want that idea, if I put my idea there, I have to spend 2 coffee to get that done. So it doesn't have to spend anything. We just assume that he gets the tile. They should have clarified this for sure. Okay, it has 2 ideas available, so it reveals the meeting card table. The target idea space on the card is occupied by teal. Pink idea occupies, okay. However, the space above the pink is vacant, so it places its 2 ideas there. I wish they would have expanded that more because that's where we're at now and how that's resolved. This is fascinating. They should have explained this for that specific, for those top rows at least. Because he wouldn't, why would he? Because he wouldn't spend 2 coffee to get 2 coffee. That doesn't make any sense, right? Or maybe it does. I don't know. They need to clarify this. Because the only way that I can get an effect from that is if I spend coffee. So how does that work for him? Just spend 2 coffee, get 2 coffee back, and then spend 2 coffee back to get 2 coffee back? That seems kind of like stupid. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. Um, Unless we're just saying that whenever he lands on the top row there, on the 3 rows, whenever he lands on the top row, he just gets coffee. You know? They really need to explain that one. All right, we'll look for this. Let me reread the place ideas portion of this solo manual. Maybe it's in there somewhere. Okay, so let's read this. Let's read this once. Place ideas. Reveal the top meeting table card and place it face up in the queue. On the discard pile, which is over there. If possible, the id places 2 ideas on the vacant space within the target column. Its preference is to place them onto the target idea space if it's vacant. Otherwise, it follows the target column's arrow to find the first vacant idea space in that direction. If the id reaches the top or bottom of the column, it continues in the same direction from the opposite end, looping around. If there are no vacant idea spaces within the target column, skip the remaining state idea steps, and instead the id will recall ideas. When you place the id's ideas on the meeting table, the direction in which you point the tail does not matter, because the id does not trigger the effect of meeting table action spaces. Oh, right. I forgot. So if it doesn't, then why did I been giving him fucking coffee? So I was not supposed to resolve anything for him. So he was not supposed to get anything. Oh, okay. Totally forgot about that. See, I mean, this is, so we've made that mistake, but we're going to continue because that was beneficial to the id and against us. So, and it's a learning experience. So once you have placed it down, all it is just taking up space. And I remember saying that too. So now it makes sense because, yeah, I've been giving id like these free coffees and shit that it certainly did not deserve. Like giving him like 6 coffee for that, yeah, whatever. But if we didn't give him that 6 coffee, it would have been like really slow, the progression of id in this game. So, but you know what? Okay, cool. So it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. See, this is why it's important to go through the the rule book again when we're confused. Okay. So that's why the tail doesn't matter. You're just claiming the space. And that's why on that card, it makes sense now on that card, it's not a typo. They're just putting that there. They're just saying that it is going to occupy that space. That's all. To block us from gaining the ability to occupy the space. Okay, now he's going to advance the ink pot. So in this case, he advances just 1. He gains. We're not gonna make adjustments at this point. We know that it got probably about 6 coffees. Yeah, at least 6 from that. And then I think I gave him 2 for the research. I gave him a research journal when he doesn't deserve the research journal too. We can take that away. I can definitely take that away and put that back here. Yeah, he certainly did not deserve that for sure. So we'll put these back up here. That's easy to fix. Okay. But yeah, we gave him like extra 6 coffee, but that's okay. So it's gonna move 1. He gets 1 coffee. So that means that he gets 1 more heart-shaped box. And then he's going to trigger the effects here. One is moving Freud 1 to 3 spaces. Let me see here. The id moves Freud 1 to 3 spaces, choosing the location that will trigger the most effect, either by counting figures or tags. If there's a tie, it advances Freud to the first tied location clockwise. Moving Freud, the id triggers the location effects, resulting in id gaining 1 coffee per triggered effect. Okay, so, but he doesn't have anything, right? Oh, no, he does. He actually has one location tag here and another one here. So he gets to move 3, right? So he's going to choose to move 1, 2, 3. He's going to choose to move Freud there. And then location effect, I believe, is this. So you either count the figures on the map on that particular area or the tags that you have. He only has 1 tag for that area, but he has 2 figures. So that means that he can activate the location effect twice. And when it comes to id, all it does is just gaining, unless the last one, no, yeah, just gaining coffee. So he gets 2 coffees here. 1, 2. Okay. And then, what does that one mean? What does that one mean? The id moves its professor on the city map. If the id's professor is not in Freud's location, move it there. If the id's professor is in Freud's location, it moves its professor 1 to 2 spaces, choosing the location that will trigger the most effect, either by counting figures or tags. If there's a tie, advances the professor to the first tied location clockwise. If moving its professor, trigger the effect. So in this case, he gets to move what? 1 to 2 spaces. So he's going to select this one because he also has the coffee tag. So he's going to move here. Well, it's 1 or 1. He gets 1 more coffee. Okay, that was simple enough. And then he also activates the last one here. When he activates that, he gets this player color insight. Okay. So next time he lands there, he gets an additional coffee. Okay, it's getting scary now. So there's more movement now for id. Well, like I said, he already got the extra 6 points that it didn't deserve. But what can you do at this point? The game is a little confusing, but we're learning. Okay, so that's we're done with id. Oh, and then id is going to use the heart-shaped box. Looks like it's going to be on this patient. So it's going to move that one down by 1. I think that's how he chooses his patient to It says that this part I don't get. The id may gain heart-shaped boxes from conversations while resolving effects. If so, it also applies these to its clients. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fine. And then he only get maximum. Okay, well, I don't think you can get more than 3 per round for sure. Okay. All right. So let's see what we're gonna do as a player now. We have a lot of ideas, so maybe it's a good time for us to maybe we should. I think the next thing for us here, I think we also need more tiles though, notebook tiles. We have 2 coffee. I mean, I can do that one. But I'm missing one here. So potentially, and I don't even have that. Let me see. I can use 1 coffee again to get, spend 1 coffee to get, oh! If I spend, okay, so this is a good one to get because next turn I can, well, I need to trigger that actually. I need to be able to trigger that. But when I'm able to, I can use 1 coffee for a major freedom insight, which I can use on this client. Hey, so TVV, how's it going? This is the unconscious mind. All right. Uh-oh, Yo. Yo is kind of scary. Hi, Rules 851. How's it going? So let me see. Do I want to do that? Or, okay. Okay, or I can actually get that one. So I can move an insight. So I can elevate an insight twice. Okay, that actually works better for us. So elevate an insight twice, and then we move it here. Okay. And do I want to trigger that twice? I guess would be the next question. I just need 1 growth, minor growth. Let me see, let's start planning this. And then I need 1 major growth. Okay, okay, so we'll place 2 ideas here. And then where do I want to go ink spot wise? I mean ink pot wise. 1. There's nothing here. 2, 3. That triggers a reputations. That is a reputation trigger, right? So that means I get 3. If I land here, I get 3 victory points and I get 1 coffee. That sounds pretty good. Who am I playing against? I'm playing against the id, the automa, I guess is what they're called, right? The bot for this board game. So I am going to. Okay, we're gonna land here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and claim that effect using 2 ideas. So now I get to elevate. So I get to do this twice. So first I'm going to elevate this one up 1, 2. And then I'm going to move this from growth to freedom. So now we have the ability to use this manifest dream to get therapy points. So it looks like that's going to be 2 therapy points. And then after that, okay, so then we get to do that one more time. If I want this one, I need to get and I can elevate from the center, right? Is that a thing? So you're basically playing with yourself. Well, here in this channel, I play everything by myself. I only play solo. I don't have anyone else to play with. Give me just a sec. Explain the game to a complete beginner. I'm trying to learn this game too, but I can give you a gist of what the game is about. Let me just check this out real quick. Can I actually move from the center into? Let's see. You cannot. You may not use an elevate effect to take an insight from the center reserve. So you have to generate the insight using specific instructions. Okay, so what is this game about? Give me a sec here. Okay, someone's walking the doggy. Okay, so basically, you are trying to become the manual explains it best. Where's the manuals? Right here. The rule book explains it best. You're trying to become the Freud's most distinguished contemporary. So you're playing like, I guess the setting here is like the early days of psychoanalysis. So you're working with Freud and all these other psychoanalysts. This is a new field of study, psychoanalysis. And so you're treating patients, working with your fellow psychologists, trying to come up with treatment and theories. And so every time you do things around the board, you get points for, say, treating your patient or doing other things on the board. This map here, the outer track is like your victory points. So at the end of the game, the person who actually has the most points becomes Freud's most accomplished contemporary. That's basically what the game is about. But so it involves coming to the meeting table, doing all these things to generate ideas that will generate resources that you need to treat your patients. So, and then you're also doing stuff on the map, where if you're moving around the map, depending whether or not you have a certain token, you get to claim like all these different bonuses. So that's basically what it is, what it's about. I'm probably not explaining this like the most exciting way, but it's a little complex. Like this is like the most complex board game that I've played thus far. And this is like my first playthrough attempt of this, my first play attempt. So I'm trying to understand the game myself. So I hope that explains it. But yeah, there's a lot of things involved. Like you have your player board here where you have to, you have all these missing elements that you can fill up using by spending ideas on the meeting table. So, and then these different elements, these different notebook tiles, once you have placed them in the player board, you can trigger them. So, to help you gain more resources. So, basically that. And then as a solo player, they have, you fight against what you call an id, it's which basically the bot. The bot works a little bit differently than a regular player, so that actually makes it a little bit more confusing too, because I already made some mistakes during the earlier rounds. But like I said, I'm trying to learn this game myself. So this is my first playthrough, of my first play attempt, and it's been a little slow. It's moving faster now as I go along, but it's a complex game. Okay, where am I at? What was I doing? Okay, I have to, so I placed two ideas here to claim this effect in the at the meeting table. And basically I can elevate insights, and you need insights to spend on treating your patients. The patients have two different dreams that you analyze. One is called the manifest dream, which is the first layer here, and underneath it there's the latent dream. So you have to resolve them one at a time. Every time you resolve a dream card, you get therapy points, and you use the therapy points to cure your patients. So, and that's what I'm attempting to do right now. I'm trying to move my resources around to match the icons on the dream cards here. So the next turn I should be able to resolve this one, because I'm able to move one of my insights. So they have passion, growth, and freedom. Those are the three categories of insights. And I was able to elevate one of my insights into a major freedom insight. And they have like three different levels. Three different levels of insights, and then three different types. So, but I'm able to, I have that now. So I have two minor growth insights, and I have one major freedom insight. So I should be able to resolve this. But you can only do one thing per round, per turn. So in this case, I've decided to get to the meeting table, discuss ideas, represented by these idea tokens, and then able to generate that action. But I get to do this twice. Whenever you use two idea tokens, which is the max, whenever you claim these spaces, you get to do that action twice. So I'm trying to now plan what I should do with the rest of the insights that I have here, because I know I have to keep this one and these two. I think I may have made a mistake by spending two ideas, because I think I just needed to spend one. But it's not too late. I'll just say I spend one. I mean, it's not mandatory for you to spend two, right? It's only when you want to have it triggered twice. So let me just see here. You may place one or two ideas. Okay, so I'm just gonna place that once, because I only have 4 of them on this what do they call this thing? Insight dial. So it would be a waste of idea to do it again, because I already have 3 of them where I wanted them to be. So And then the next thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna look over here to the right. I have to move 3 ink pot spots on my player board. So 1, 2, 3, and then when you land here in the middle, you actually get to trigger reputation. And then they have the reputation track here at the top part of this map. So let me just check here. I think it's page 11. Okay. Whenever you trigger reputation track, follow these steps. Score the victory points and gain coffee, if any, shown in the zone above your reputation marker. So since I'm over here, on top of the reputation marker, I get 3 victory points and I get 1 coffee. So I'm going to move the coffee indicator here up by 1, and then I get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. And this is like the easy bot. So it seems like he's moving slower for sure. You can see that his victory point is like stuck here in the back. But he's getting there though. I mean, like, it's insidious. I mean, he's getting there because he already unlocked all of his tiles here, all of the tiles in the row here for the bottom row. So this is all cleared. So it's kind of insidious. I mean, he's slowly getting there, but I have a feeling that this easy bot is maybe a little too easy. So we'll see.